Before we go ahead and jump into this video, I want to take a moment here to state that I am a very big Devil May Cry fan. I love Dante as a protagonist. He's one of the quirkiest, sassiest, most sarcastic main characters in a franchise. I cannot express how much I grew to love him as a teenager and how the Devil May Cry franchise became an integral part of my childhood growing up. And after having played dozens of hours in Devil May Cry Peak of Combat, I can say that this is an absolute abomination of a game. This is actually doing a disservice to the Devil May Cry game, the entire Devil May Cry intellectual property overall. There might be some of you that disagree with that, and that is fine. But they have taken what made Devil May Cry very fun, its personality, and just torn it to shreds. There isn't really anything redeeming about this game. With that in mind, let's go ahead and log in and discuss the game. Welcome back to another video, another episode of Player Pass, where I give my brutal, honest thoughts on a game, whether they be mostly or completely positive or mostly or completely negative. So this is a game. These are the graphics. The graphics are honestly not bad. For a mobile game, I can genuinely say that the graphics in Peak of Combat are not bad. The bulk of the game takes place here. This is where you take your missions from. This is where you take your quests from. This is where you formulate your team composition and where you send your characters out on missions, where you participate in and further the story. Wait, I just noticed, is that Virgil? Oh shit, yeah, that's Virgil. I guess I never really took the time to look at the newspaper articles around on the walls. So as of what? The 28th of June, I have thus far acquired 5 characters, 2 of which happen to be Nero, 1 of which is Virgil, 1 of which is Dante, and 1 of which is Lady. Now you happen to get 3 of these characters automatically. So I've actually obtained 2 characters thus far. I think I got Nero as a reward for just continuing with the story. So I feel like I've maybe gotten 1 single character from polls, and that's kind of depressing. Before we go ahead and jump into this video though, I want to take a moment here to urge you guys to take a look at previous episodes of the Player Pass series, where I go into detail about everything the game is or should be. Also, I want to thank our incredible patrons over on Patreon who allow for me to continue to download and play games like this every day for a living. Now, your heroes function like any other gacha game. You can develop them. They have their own individual statistics. They have their own individual weapons. 2 characters, from what I've seen thus far, are incapable of sharing the same weapons. As an example, neither Nero nor Dante can exchange weapons or share weapons, even though they both use great swords. You can upgrade your weapons. The weapons are limited to the level of your account. My account is level 19 at present, therefore I can't exceed level 19. Higher quality weapons can actually be upgraded. I haven't obtained any higher quality weapons yet. There are numerous appearances for your weapons. There's a card system present. The cards have beneficial statistics, beneficial passives. They kind of function like extra additive gear. You can get 2 set, 4 set pieces. I haven't really obtained many. Admittedly, I haven't been farming them because honestly, I've just been so bored to death with this game. I haven't been having any fun whatsoever in it. Oh man, I'll get to that in a minute. Then you have skills. Every character has their own unique skill set. You can upgrade your skills, increasing the power of your skills, unlocking new skills, whether they be combat skills or passive skills. Each character has their own essentially class archetype. So Nero, as an example, and Dante and Virgil, they're all close range melee fighters, and then Lady, on the other hand, she is a long-range target, or long-range character, but at the same time, she's also capable of going close range and like punching and kicking and participating in fist fighting as well. I will note there is also the ability to awaken your characters if you have the prerequisite level met, you have the prerequisite story quest met, because there are unlock conditions to upgrading and awakening. You can also upgrade the rarity of your characters. I think Lady and Dante and Virgil all started out as B tier characters, so you can upgrade the quality of them, the rarity of them, by getting duplicate pieces. And that's essentially the entirety of the character system. The story is I mean, just watch. I mean, here we go. That was the intro to the entire chapter. Man, I forgot how long these loads were.
This is it. The demonic plane.
So this is the party place. Bit cold for the drinks, don't you think?
Here? The Hunters Guild? Are you sure?
I don't think that's even Dante's normal official voice actor.
Branch of the guild. I still got missions to take care of. See you guys around.
The voice acting is fucking horrendous. What even is this, man?
I'll catch up with you soon.
Like, this is just, there's no expression on their faces. There's no feeling or emotion in the voice acting. It's just absolute and utter trash. Oh man, these FPS drops here are horrible. Typically the performance isn't bad. It's not great, but it's not generally very good. All right. Now we get to fuck that thing up. I don't know why I'm getting tutorials this late into the game. But you know what? You know what? Fine. That's okay. I mean, as you can tell, the combat is phenomenal. Like, look at this. Like, look how good this is, right? But see, Lady can play long range, or she can go in and fight close range. There are combos as well. As you can see, I just did. Admittedly, it's been a few days. I may have forgotten some of the button combinations. And then there are certain enemy types that have like things like shields that are broken through use of Lady's abilities that you can then follow up with Virgil or Nero or Dante. I mean, honestly, the combat itself isn't bad, but at the same time, it just feels kind of sloppy and slow, and I guess for a mobile game, this isn't bad. This isn't cross-platform compatible on PC and mobile. It is exclusively for mobile. I'm playing this on an emulator. I don't know, there's just something about this game that just feels really stiff in terms of quality. Maybe it's just the animations. I don't know. And that's pretty much the gameplay outside of the little bar hub. Like, it's just so uninspired. Maybe that's what I'm going for here. I can't subject you guys to any more of that. If you want to play more of that, if you want to engage in that combat, you're more than welcome to. The gacha is not very friendly. The pity is admittedly at 70, which isn't bad, but at the same time, accumulating in-game resources to actually pull for characters is very slow. This is not a free-to-play friendly game in any capacity. There are your typical chapter rewards, event rewards, login rewards. Outside of the main story, there are numerous other game modes, such as the Perfect Timing Challenge, the Vine of Greed Challenge, Airborne Challenge, the Memory Corridor, Slot of Slaughter. There are time-limited events. All of these are pretty much just go into an instance, fight some monsters. I mean, very largely uninspired. If you're a fan of the combat, then you'll probably be a fan of the game modes. They allow for you to more or less just play through them without really any concern for stamina. I think, if I recall, I admittedly didn't do all of them. I've been kind of I find the game so boring. The story is just so contrastingly different to what the Devil May Cry stories are about. Devil May Cry it is a franchise about dark, fucked up, demonic shit and really awesome characters that populate these dark, fucked up worlds. This game has no personality, no flair whatsoever. All the characters are one-dimensional. They walk into a room, they're like, oh, this is a lever. I guess I need to pull the lever to open the door. So Dante will pull the lever and open the door. He'll walk through the door and be like, oh, I guess I walked through the door. That over there is a monster. I guess I need to fight the monster. So you fight the monster, you kill it. Oh, I guess that's a girl that the monster was eating. I guess I'll rescue her now. So you rescue the girl. You take her out. Well, I guess now that she's rescued, it's time to go grab some pizza, I guess. It is literally the most uninspired narrative that I have ever seen in a gacha game. It is absolutely horrible. The combat is very limiting for a Devil May Cry game. Admittedly, it is not bad, but it is, when compared to the main Devil May Cry franchise, very bad. It is absolutely nothing like the mainstream Devil May Cry games. The voice acting, as you experienced, is fucking horrific. And at the end of the day, this is literally just a mission-based, chapter-oriented gacha game. It is not a Devil May Cry game. This is a video game that was inspired by Devil May Cry. It took the characters, it took Devil May Cry assets and implemented them in what can only be described as fan of the franchise thought the game should be, and this just ain't it. No, I would not play this at launch. I think this is actually a very bad game. I played a lot of fun gacha games this year. This is not one of those games. This is probably one of the worst gacha games I've played this year. Now, if Devil May Cry Peak of Combat is not your kind of game, or even if it is, then I urge you to click one of the 2 videos on screen right now that might be good alternatives to the game.